We out here slapping people that we don't even know. We out here slapping people, period. Am I going to finish this series? I honestly don't know, because the stress that was happening was a lot. So you literally just have to pull on your big girl panties and you have to make it work, and you need some encouragement. These books are for you, friend. These books are for you. I read for fun. We out here slapping people that we don't even know. We out here slapping people, period. So I did read more than 2 books this last month. However, I only read 2 physical books, and the rest of the books I read on my Kindle. Hello, my loves. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nicole Charnel, and today's video, I'm gonna do my monthly reading wrap up. So this past month, I read 7 books. So I'm just gonna share with you what I read and how I enjoyed so much what I read. I did a huge mood reading month. I think I only read 1 book from my TBR for last month, which was, I think it's this one. No, I think I had this one too, because these 2 I got from the library, and I talked about how I wanted to read the books that I got from the library. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is what I did. Starting off the month, I went strong on my Kindle. I was doing a lot of cleaning and like resetting this month, like getting my room together and all that. So I was looking for an audiobook on the Libby app. If you don't know what the Libby app is, it's an app for reading, but it's connected to your library card. So you can basically get audiobooks and ebooks for free as long as you have a library card. So I went on there and I was looking for a fantasy book specifically that had romance in it, and that was audiobook version, because I needed to be like moving around and using my hands, and I just didn't have time to sit down and start a book. But I knew I wanted to read a romantasy, A Court This Cruel and Lovely by Stasia Stark. So I started listening to that and I was hooked. If you watch my monthly reset, I did talk about that book in there. It was my favorite book of the month. Especially it was like the start of a series for me. There are 3 books currently in the series. The 4th book comes out at the end of this month. Yeah, at the end of May. So I'm honestly still deciding if I'm going to read it, but let me just tell you why. It was still such a good read. Also, if you want to see my ratings on these books, I have my Goodreads link down below, and my ratings are on there. This fantasy or romantasy is about a girl who, she's human, and she lives in a world where there's human and there's fae, there's shifters. In the area she lives, there is a king, and the king wants to protect the humans from the fae, because the fae are bad. As long as she has known that the fae are bad, they're after the humans and after the humans' power. So the human king decides to create this way of life where when you're young, as a human, if you have power, your power gets taken from you until you're the age of like 25. And when they take the power from you, it's like collected and given back to people who usually have like some type of protective power, or has a power that can help in the kingdom and in the status of the kingdom, like keeping the humans safe from the fae. And then when you get to 25, you get your power returned to you, and you can kind of go about your life. People who with stronger powers get invited to the kingdom and help the king in some direct way to protect the humans from the fae. So this girl lives in a small town, and she has power, and she's about 18. I think she's like 18 or 19 years old, and she has power, so she's hiding it, because also one of the things about this world, if you have power, after a certain age, when you get to the ceremony where they give you your power back and you get found out that you have power, they basically kill your family and take you captive, because you are a fugitive, and it's just like you've been lying all these years and hiding your power and all this kind of stuff. So we get to the point where it's almost time for her, the main character, to go to her ceremony, but literally, like, I think it's like a year or so before, something happens and she has to use her power. Now all this time she knows that she needs to hide, she needs to protect herself, she needs to keep herself safe and her family, because like I said, if you get found out that you have this power, your family is gonna die. So she knows that she's supposed to like hide it, but she gets in a situation where she has no choice but to use her power, and then she is on the run for her life. And that is how this book begins. I really liked this whole series. I read all 3 of these probably like in a week and a half, and they were so good. And what I really loved about them is they were different. Like, this was like, of course, a human fae, you know, power struggle type book, but it wasn't like any of things that I read. It wasn't like ACOTAR at all, like, except for the fact that there's humans and there's fae. Like, literally that was the only same thing that I noticed about the book, but the story was still intriguing. I wanted to keep reading. I wanted to find out more about it. I wanted to keep going deeper into this world. So I really enjoyed this series, and how the last book ended up, A Crown That's Cold and Heavy, it literally, it ended on a cliffhanger, and it was like dire straits, like super emotional. I remember like I was like, like so stressed. So I was listening to like the last few chapters, and then it ends on the cliffhanger and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I have to like wait. I think at the time, I think it was like a month and a half, but I have to wait for the next book to come out. So, but honestly, it was so angsty. I don't even know if I'm going to listen to the next book. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to listen to it. I don't know if I'm going to want to. I don't even know if I want to put myself through this angst. The stress that was happening was a lot. So I don't know. Next, I read The Neighbor Favor by Christina Forrest. One of the main reasons why I wanted to read The Neighbor Favor in this month is because I went to the library and a new book came out by Christina Forrest, which was The Partner Plot. So I wanted to make sure I liked the book before I went ahead and read this one. Granted, I got it from the library and I didn't buy it, but I did want to make sure I liked the author, and they're interconnected standalone, so I wanted to make sure I read the book and didn't get spoiled, because the first book does have like a hint of not mystery in it, but like there's some things that you just don't know. So because of that, I was like, I don't want to spoil anything for myself, so I'm going to read the first book. It's about this girl who she has read a fantasy book that she loves. She loves the author, and it's like her escape. Like she wants to read more. She wants to read more of this author, but this author only wrote one book, but she loves this fantasy. She's read it multiple times. And she's in the point in her life where she's just not fully happy. She's not sad, but she has gone through some things where she's like, she needs that escape, and reading is her escape. She also has a job that she doesn't really love, and a lot of it is based around that, her trying to advance at the job that she's at. So one day she's having a terrible day, and she gets online and she notices that her favorite author to her favorite fantasy book now has a website and it has an email. So she decides to email the author, and he responds. So as he responds, they continue to talk, correspond over the course of almost a year, and they get to know each other. They start to like each other. They decide that they're going to meet up, and then he ghosts her. So she's obviously distraught that she's been ghosted, but she's like, I'm done. I'm just done with dating for right now, and she's just really upset about it. So as the course of the book goes on, you find out who the author is. You find out that he is actually her neighbor, but you also find out why he's been lying and why he kind of ghosted her. So it was a really cute, fluffy romance. I really did enjoy it, and I enjoyed the storyline. It was a little bit different. I also love bookish books, you know, books about reading and publishing and all that. Like it's like Inception, you know, like a book within a book. Like it was just really cute, and I really did enjoy it. Also written by Black authors, so you know, Black characters and all that, and I love me some Black romance. So then I went ahead and read The Partner Plot. So this book, like I said, I got from the library, and I love when I go into the library and I see new release books, and not just new releases, but books with Black characters on the front. Oh, I love that for me. I love it so much, and I know I had to pick this book up. I knew I had to pick it up. So I got it in the library, and I read it right after I read The Neighbor Favor. Once again, super cute, fluffy romance. This book is about this girl. Her name is Violet. So the first one is Lily. It's so cute. They're sisters, and all of their names have to do with flowers. So we have Lily, which is the first book. Violet is the second book, and the third book is going to be Iris, but it's not out yet. So cute. Anyway, so Violet, she in the first book has a terrible situation happen to her with her fiance. So then she is trying to get over, she's trying to get better, feel better, and like be more excited about life and her job. And she loves her job, and she like dives headfirst in it. Ends up in Vegas, where she sees her ex-boyfriend, like her high school sweetheart, sees him. They have a crazy night, and they get married. Yep, that's what happens. Literally, that's on the back of the book, not a spoiler. So they get married, and then they decide what they're gonna do with their little marriage. Like, what is gonna happen? They realize that their marriage could possibly help them. So that's all I'm gonna say about this book. Speaking of Black romance, the next book I read on my Kindle, and it was by Natasha Bishop. I wanted to continue on in this series, or Interconnected Standalones by Natasha Bishop, and this book was called Where We Found Our Heart. I read the first book, Where We Found Our Home, last month. This book is interconnected friends, but the guys are the friends, even though the book main character usually is the girl. The guys are the friends, and then basically all the guys are like getting locked down, because you find out in the first book that there's a secret that the guys have about how they met, and they've made a pact that they're not sharing the secret until they're all married. So this is really cute because it's like another Inception moment, right? Like you have a series about guys and they're all hooking up, finding their girls, getting married. Then you know that there's another secret of that you can't find out that secret until the guys all get married. So now each book is about each guy, and so you want to just keep reading a book. Like, that's so cute. I freaking love that. However, there's only 3 books currently. There's 5 guy friends. So this second one is about Isaiah, is the guy friend. The girl's name is Nina, and you find out about Nina's story in the first book, so I'm not going to spoil that. And you find out like just how intense it is, but she is such a good woman. If you are a woman and you are like, you a woman or a mom or a sister or whatever, like, or an auntie, and you find yourself in a situation and you literally just have to pull on your big girl panties and you have to make it work, and you need some encouragement, these books are for you, friend. These books are for you. So in this book, Nina finds herself in one of these situations where it's really not the best. It's not great at all, but she has to just woman up, and she has to do this for herself and for her family. Enter Isaiah. They've always had like this spark, right? As soon as they met, they just feel like each other are attractive. Isaiah is a big clown though. Like, he just plays a lot and everybody knows him as the clown, and so they don't take him seriously, and that bothers Nina because, like I said, like, she has to put her big girl panties on. Like, she has to be about her business so she can keep going through everyday life, and she wants to be with Isaiah, but she don't want to be with him because, like I said, he's a clown, and like she's afraid that there's no future because he just be playing around all the time. So now in this book, basically, Isaiah also has to man up. And like the thing that happened in the first, I think it's like literally in the first 4 chapters or 3 chapters maybe, I was like, what? Like, already on top of what happened to her at the end of the last book, I was like, oh God, what is she gonna do? How is she gonna make it through? If this happened to me, I would be like just in a ball somewhere, like crying, upset that I have to deal with this, like legit. So, but Nina, like, she like steps up, and she does cry, of course, because we're women and we're emotional, but she still steps up and she still does what she has to do, which I love that for her. And I really enjoyed her story, her and Isaiah's story. So good. Definitely would recommend. This month I read The Frenemy Fix Up. So this book I read at the beginning of the month because I was finishing it at the end of March. So into April, I finished this book. I picked this up, didn't know nothing about this book, this author, nothing. Picked it up because I was at the library and I see a black couple on the front, 2 black people in the front, and I'm like, yep, we're gonna read that. We're gonna support these black authors out here. So this is The Frenemy Fix Up by Yara St. John. And she also has Interconnected Standalones. This one is, I think, the 3rd or 4th book in her Interconnected Standalones. There's a friend group, but this is about the women in the friend group. And their friend group is called the 6 Gems. 6 Gems. And each book is about the woman and how, she, you know, when she goes through this moment in her life and she gets her man, basically. Super cute romance. Super cute romance. When you read the back of the book, you know exactly what's going to happen. So basically, Shay is a yoga instructor. She has her own studio. She's trying to grow her studio and advance in her career, and she bumps into Colin. She still wants Colin as soon as she sees him. However, she's mad at Yo because of how he treated her in high school. Even though she had like a huge crush on him, he wasn't trying to give her no play, basically, because they just weren't the same type of people, is how she phrases it. So Colin has a career that is stressful in his life, and because his life is stressed, he goes through this major health scare, and he has to get his life in order health-wise. And so he decides to go to Shay and ask for her help. She decides to be the big woman and say, sure, I'll help you, even though I have a crush on you, even though you're not gonna give me no play, even though you look down on me, I'm still gonna say yes, I'm gonna help you. And that is the beginning of their story. So like I said, cute, fluffy read, super short, but it was really good. And I read this all on the physical book. Like I read it also like when I was at work through my lunch, and it didn't take me too long. I think like a week and a half, because my lunch is only 30 minutes, so I just read while I was on my lunch for like a week and a half and read this book. So really cute, definitely recommend. But if you know, cute fluffy romance, you know that they're gonna end in a happy ending, that they are, and this is why we read them, this is why we love them. Last book I read, once again on my Kindle, and this book is called Hostile Takeover by Christina C. Jones. Hostile Takeover by Christina C. Jones. And like I said, I read this on my Kindle. So this book, I was, of course, I think on Instagram, and I seen, or maybe it was like, no, I was watching a YouTube video and someone mentioned that this girl recommended this book. I then went to Instagram, found her Instagram page, and like saw what she said about the book, and it just sounded really interesting. It's about Leilani, and she works in her family business, which is, it's some type of store. It's not a grocery store. It kind of reminds me more of like a Walmart or a Target, because it has like different aspects in the store. Leilani's family owns this this store. It's a big name store within the town, and she literally, in the first chapter of the book, she's going into work. Her dad calls her in the office, and she's like, I know something up, because dad never calls me in the office. She gets in there, and her dad's in there, their accountant, and then there's this other man in there. His name is Orion. Orion's family also owns stores similar to Leilani's family store. However, they're more of a bully type store, right? They come in, they conquer, they take people's stuff, and then they rename it their own, right? So she already knows his reputation. So when she sees him in there, she is hyped. She is like, I'm not playing with you, fool. So unfortunately, like she thought, this is literally all in the first chapter, and this hooked me on this book. Oh my God, hooked me so bad. He's like, well, listen, your store is in trouble. She looks at her dad, and her dad's like, head hung, like not trying to make eye contact with her, not trying to show her that this man is really talking truth. Your store is in trouble. There's a lot of money owed, and the only way you can get out of trouble is by selling your store. This is a family business, her mom's family business. Her mom is not alive anymore, so her and her dad and her brother are trying to keep the store alive. She didn't even know that the store was in trouble. This is really the killer. Like, dad wasn't even telling her. And now she walks in here, Orion is like, you're gonna have to sell your store, and you're gonna tell it to me. And she's like, what? What do you mean? Like, no, this is not happening. Now she is feisty, okay? So feisty. Homeboy, after he says this, she slaps him in the face. What? What? We out here slapping people that we don't even know? We out here slapping people, period? Okay, relax. She slaps him. He doesn't, first of all, he doesn't immediately slap her back, which, you know, I feel like sometimes in books happen. It's crazy, wild, men beat women, okay? But no, he doesn't. He takes a step back. He smiles. This is where you know you're in trouble, because he just smiled after you embarrassed him. He smiles and says, you're either going to sell me your family business or you're going to marry me. What? Off the bat, first of all, I don't even think I didn't read the back of the book. I just went off of this girl's recommendation for the book, and I kind of skimmed it. Off the bat, forced proximity. Off the bat, in what's it called? Arranged marriage. Off the bat, enemies to lovers. Oh my gosh, I was hooked. Hooked, you hear me? Hooked. I think I read this book in 2 days. Read this book in 2 days. Let's see how long it is. 339 pages. So freaking good. I read it on my Kindle. Oh my gosh. I freaking loved it. Oh my God, I loved it. Ate it up. Ate it up. So obviously she agrees to marry him, and she hates every second of it, yo. Now he has reasons, and you find out in the book that he has reasons for doing this. More than just the fact that he sees her, is attracted to her, wants her because she is like that bad girl. Like, she just on it. Like, she just bad. Like, she do business, she know business, she on top of it, and literally like her dad, the whole situation with her dad and her family, she didn't even know about, right? They end up getting married, obviously, and then the whole story goes through of like how like she's gonna still save her family business, what she's gonna do with her family now, how she has to be married to him and she hates it. Like, it was so good. I still recommend the book. I love it. The ups and the downs, the ebbs and the flows. There was still a struggle within the book. Like, something happened. It was more than just about the romance. It was a little bit about the business and a little bit about the family. Like, it was, things were going on, and I really did like that a part of the book. I think in the beginning I said I read 7 books, but I think it's 8 because I didn't put the Friend of Me Fix Up on my Goodreads one that I read this month. Not too bad. Not too bad of a reading month. I really enjoyed every single book that I read. Listen, I told you, I don't read sad stuff. I really don't. I don't read stuff that is going to make me cry. I don't read scary things. I read for pure fun. I feel like life is hard enough. I'm not reading a book that's going to make me angry. I'm just not doing it. It's not for me. So yeah, those are the books that I read this month. Like I said, mainly on my Kindle, on my phone. I think a couple audiobooks, like it just, that's mainly what I did this month. If you don't know, or if you haven't checked out my previous video, I talked about how I made a book tracker where I track all my books and like collect my stats. I do plan on making it more, but right now it's literally just like a preliminary thing. You know, it's just like a chill vibe thing, but I still want to like collect my stats. So my book tracker is available on Etsy. There is a link down below. In the first 2 weeks of me releasing this book tracker, it is only $1. Yes, just $1. Love that for me. So, and also love that for you. This video is coming out in the middle of those 2 weeks, so you have 1 more week and some change to get this book tracker for $1. Please let me know how you enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, if you think it's whack, let me know. Okay, I want the reviews. I want the reviews. But the regular price of the book tracker will be $6, and you can purchase it, like I said, through the link below. This is the first time I've ever released a product like this, and I'm super excited about it. And especially since I'm about reading and I'm about stats. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you download the book tracker, please let me know. Like I said, leave me all the comments, all the reviews. I'm not afraid of it. Like, tell me the truth, because I want to just keep getting better and making things that you will enjoy. Thank you for watching this video, guys. If you don't know, I have added book content and bookish content to my channel, and I will continue to do so. I will also be having a video about my reading goals for the next month, or my TBR, and I will share that with you as well. Other than that, thanks for watching this video, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.